What gave me belief that St George would make a comeback, I didn't hold much hope for him when seeing his feet in the condition that they were in. I was happy to try anything at that stage.
Morning all, St George. He is regressing in his feet. So yeah, I've tried to treat medically. He's had a break, he's come back, he's training, and yeah, they're not going the right way. So we need to make some hard decisions. His weight's actually all right, and he's mentally fine. But yeah, galled, and then get him into a deep litter box, or we'll get him to like a farmyard type environment where the manure, there's higher ammonia and nitrate, and that is said to be quite beneficial. So yeah, that's sort of the last resort. If that doesn't work, I'd say he would be retired.
St George arrived to our Victorian setup, and at the time was one of our leading Melbourne Cup prospects. We got him from Europe, from England, and he had high hopes. But unfortunately, over time, he developed a foot condition, as we call in Australia as thrush. It's a bacterial issue, and from that initial problem, there stemmed other problems with quarter cracks developing, and we had to reshoe him and have our farriers work long and hard on trying to have him as best as possible. But it took his toll, and to the latter end of the preparation, he was becoming sore, and we did have to turn him out for a long period of time.
Morning all, St George here at Cranbourne. He's had a good couple of weeks now of very restricted exercise. We've been treating his feet. He's currently on a steroid-based powder. We've taken a sample of where the issue is, just at the back of the heel, and we'll wait for that to come back as to what it is to then what we can treat it with. But what we do with his feet for health, and then how we get him back beyond that. But he's put on a good amount of weight, which is good to see. His demeanour's fine for being boxed post-run. So that's where we're at currently. We'll continue to look into the issue in his foot, and we'll be in touch once we have that information.
So with St George and his foot condition, where other horses can have the thrush, as we deemed it, either dug out or bathed and soaked, and it would eventually grow out of the foot or come out or grow down, his was getting worse, and it was in all 4 feet, all 4 of his heels. And whenever John was trying to work away at it, it effectively just wasn't improving. So over the course of the preparation with training, we had to incorporate a lot of beach work, a lot of work on the treadmill, just to keep him out of the dirt and the sort of surfaces that would hold the most bacteria in our eyes. So it just took another angle and element to make sure that we were doing the best for him, because it definitely wasn't straightforward.
Sheared heels can be common enough, but usually it will be one heel very high and shunted, which is relatively easy to shoe for, because you can unload the pressure off that heel and let it relax back down. But with George, it was more of this thrush that had got so out of control that it didn't seem to matter what we did, we just couldn't get it to settle back down. We treated it with a lot of things. We sort of spoke to farriers all around the world, sent pictures of what we were dealing with, and got suggestions from everywhere. We stripped it right back and took it back to healthy tissue. We did all that, but nothing really seemed to work long term.
There is obviously a link between the gut and a horse's feet. So we looked more into it with our nutritionist in-house to see what we could monitor and investigate more to what was affecting George with regards to his hindgut. All horses in our stable, we take their pH frequently to ensure that the acid level is right in their hindgut to break down their food. You obviously don't want this too low, meaning high amount of acid in the hindgut, or too high. That would be not enough acid in the hindgut to break it down. You do need it in this specific range that Nerita's educated us on and that we've been able to prove over time. Horses in that range do often lead to a better performance on the track and also stay healthier for longer. And it also breaks down their food much better and they reap the nutritional benefit out of it. So looking at St. George's pH readings, he was quite low in that pH reading. Combine that with a little bit of research that we were doing at the time that looked into the microbiome. So these tests took a simple fecal sample and we were able to understand, thanks to the team at Quantal Bioscience, what was happening in the breakdown of the specific bacteria in each horse's gut. We got a test done for St. George. We were able to map his hindgut in terms of the bacteria on a clustering analysis to look at where he sat. He interestingly sat outside the normal population with several species of bacteria being low in abundance, which were obviously a benefit for types of anaerobic fitness. And so we worked closely with our in-house nutritionist, Nerita McGilchrist, on formulating a feed that might lead to some positive outcomes for not only his hindgut and also his feet subsequently.
There was a point where we thought St. George wasn't going to race again for sure. At the time, he was an older stallion. His feet condition wasn't improving for time. It wasn't in tuning for certain methods of medical management, and it certainly wasn't improving for farriers attending to him. So when he had his period of rest, we looked at different methods from overseas. John Bunting and Ciaron looked at different management practices from America and topical ointments that they do use, and over time with that and a change of diet, environment, we thankfully took the turn and got him on the right leg.
St. George, we inspected with John Bunting and Charles McGladdery on Friday. After a discussion, we are very happy to bring him back into work. As a result, he has shifted to Fingal to resume training down there. So he is barefoot and will remain barefoot for the first period of his training. If he does become bare or there is an issue, we may look at adding casts on, which would be up to John Bunting. But for the time he's had off, we are happy with how he presents and how he moves, and as a result, he will start training. Thank you.
Look, it's obviously, shoeing horses, but when you get a good result and you work on a horse so much, you begin to really sort of form a bond with them, I suppose. And it's just such great satisfaction. And once again, team event, everyone had to do their part to be able to get there. And we had written him off there for a bit. It was getting to the point where it wasn't sustainable that he would go out and exercise and come back and all 4 feet were bleeding. So to see him turn that corner was just, yeah, relief. He's actually a lovely animal to deal with as well.
Between Pryde's and the nutritionist, they come up with a feeding program for this horse that, it's basically career changed. He was in a spot that wasn't good, and he's got back to a fully normal functioning racehorse, and he's a very good horse, and he's got right back to his best, if not better. That is extraordinary. The fact that he's standing there and all that shit is the idea. That's what's fixing him, I think. How long ago did he do them?
I don't know if he did them. He came down to look at him, but he didn't ever said. He just said happy.
To know that he had the ability to be able to get there and then to sort of have to give up, I guess it's not in my nature to be able to let that go. So I'd said to Ciaron I would, try and do whatever I could, but at no cost, and push him as far as we could to see if we could get him back to the track.
Morning all, St. George. Let's see if we can get him out of the garden. Well, the resurrection is almost complete. We've had our third jump out, and he's still a little bit big, but that's due to the relaxed environment where he lives, where his feet are in pristine condition, which is amazing. He is having a good puff, to be expected. So he's going to go to the mile race, the Seymour Cup, which is in 12th of October on a Sunday. Over a mile.
Set, and they're racing. Charterhouse jumped away well, no speed from Distrustful Award. It's 3 or 4 lengths away at the back of the field, and St George goes back to second last. On the 250, Code Atlantique is chasing on the outside, then hard to cross, and behind them Harmonious Sonora. El Rocco joined by Code Atlantique with 100 to go. Code Atlantique kicking back El Rocco, and St George is flying, but Code Atlantique won it. Code Atlantique from St George.
But it's St George, 50 to go. It's going to be an Aussie first for St George, and a ton of wins for Robert Weirding.
Limo, St George on the inside, Magna Spin, then Fortune, Jenny's Meadow. St George with 50 metres to go. Forge is on, the grey, the favourite holds on. St George wins, and Nick Jenny's...
Well done. It's been a bit of a journey with him, and a journey where you've lent on some pretty important partners as well.
Yeah, we have, Nigel. First and foremost, John Bunting. He's at home laying on his back. He's just had spinal surgery to get him going for another few years for us. Track Cat, she devised a feed for him. He had really bad thrush, is probably in layman terms what he had, which did hold him up last spring and why he had so much time off. But through Ballarat to Fingal, he's been training down there with Aaron, to Cranbourne, Daniel. Team's done a marvellous job, and although it's just an open handicap, it allows him to go to a 2500 in about 5 weeks on the 14th of Feb, and then we'll probably look at the Roy Higgins after that.
I was probably more excited with St George running second in the Seymour Cup than when you see a horse win a Group 1 race. So. Georgie boy! We tried everything externally to treat his feet and kill the disease, and in the end it wasn't until we changed his diet completely, he got gelded, and we changed his environment that George came back. It was just a great team effort, and really happy to be a part of it.
What makes Ciaron Maher Racing great, and also being involved in the data and sports science team along with the wider team, is that we constantly are evolving and always trying to get better at things. A quote that sticks in my head is, "What can't be measured can't be managed." I think that rings true in horse racing, and I'm always trying to find new data points that could explain why there has been poor performance on the track, or even poor performance at home on the training track. Working with the trainers nationally at Ciaron Maher Racing give me good insights on what to be looking at next, and what certain data points could be revealing about how a horse is performing, whether that's over or underperforming. Combined with nutrition and the training data, along with what happens on the racetrack, we're able to see a complete picture for each horse in our stable.
I sort of regard the whole team as a trainer of all horses, and when you've got a horse with that much ability and an annoying problem like that was going to be career threatening, and to fix it, that's the aim of the game, to get everyone to be as free and as happy and to perform at their best. and it's very heartening to see that horse go all the way back, and you know the spring's going to be even better for him.